We are the Dire Descent.
Hey! I'm the bass player. I'm like 6'2" and I can't fit in this car. So I'll just stick my head out like this.
And the way that we came up with the name was when me and Matt were in high school, 11th grade?
Yeah, it's 12.
It was 12. Senior year, me and Matt recorded. Matt's our drummer. Me and Matt recorded.
How are you?
Me and Matt recorded a one song. We were doing it for a music theory project. We had a different Dave on guitars at the time.
Not this.
Not this Dave.
Not this guy.
And
Dave.
we didn't have Nick or Anthony at the time. We had a Dave, just not this one. And we were trying to think of a name for the band, and me and Matt stayed up all night, like with a pen and a pad, and like towards the end of it, we were just
and an 18-pack.
And an 18-pack. And towards the end of it, it was like King Cullen. ShopRite. That's the name of the band. We're calling it ShopRite. And then we passed out. Woke up the next morning. We were just like Dire Descent. I think the movie The Descent just came out, so there was a new word in my vocabulary, and I always like the word dire, so we just used the word Dire Descent.
If you took out R, it spells die.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That's metal.
What would you say are your top 3 artists that really influence you?
As far as like style, or as far as
anything, just the top 3 artists.
Top 3. As far as influences go, not particularly my favorite artists. Writing style, I would say, is more for like we're coming out with new songs now, and on the demo, primarily the songs were written by Matt. But for writing style, I've recently gotten into Immure, and I know that half of Long Island is gonna say "suck my fucking dick" because Immure are a bunch of sellouts and whatever. I like them. I don't give a shit what anybody else has to say.
Pretty good. Don't bother me. I like music.
Yeah. As far as vocal style goes, I've been told that I can be compared to Black Dahlia Murder, the lead singer of Black Dahlia Murder. I don't know his name. I don't really give a shit what his name is.
No one does.
And just my favorite band of all time, and you're all gonna call me a pussy. Alkaline Trio is my favorite band. I don't want to. That's my favorite band.
You were a punk.
I started off as a punk kid and ended up in a metal band, and I don't know how I got here. I was drunk for a couple of years. So that's basically those are the 3.
Artist-wise, Lamb of God, Pantera, and Machine Head.
Okay.
But like drumming-wise, Vinnie Paul, Chris Adler, and Dave Grohl.
All right. Well, honestly, not to copy off of him, but Lamb of God, and then the other 2, Black Dahlia Murder. Sorry, John. And what was that other one? Wow, that's a hard. Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I'd like to say fucking.
Parkway.
Yeah, Parkway. I'm gonna have to go with Parkway Drive because their playing style is just fucking awesome. So.
I forgot to mention Hannah Montana.
Fuck that, Taylor Swift!
Yes! Dave?
Slayer, and Slayer.
That's all he listens to. He may have a Pantera shirt, but he's never heard any Pantera.
Everything is Slayer.
All
he has.
He's
the greatest guitarist that ever fucking lived.
I don't know about that.
I think everybody here wants to beat the shit out of you right now. But
he's a great guitar player, but I don't consider him.
I don't want to beat the shit out of him. I entirely agree with Anthony. I think he was great. I think he was very innovative. I'm not taking anything away from him. I just don't think he's the best.
Yeah.
That's a really hard question.
To limit it down to 3 is definitely difficult.
Yes,
Yeah.
Especially for like bassist. Like I am like the fucking pickiest person you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
And bass-wise, I hate any bass player who uses a pick. So that.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm a bass player and I hate fucking picks.
So that limits about 75% of the bands out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Lamb of God, I love Pantera, Black Dahlia Murder, but like
Black Dahlia Murder actually.
Well, then you're gonna have to go with fucking
Well, for bassist, I'd say Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
He's fucking
Okay.
ridiculous. Victor Wooten is sick.
If you want no pick, you have to go with fucking Marilyn Manson band. That's no pick right there for bass.
Well, Cannibal Corpse's bass player is pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'd have to say the best bass influence is Cliff Burton, old school Metallica. He was probably the best bass player to ever live.
So how did you guys feel with playing tonight?
I thought it was pretty decent considering that my drum set felt like being a douchebag. And, well, not necessarily my drum set. It was the dude from I Can Relate because apparently somebody told me not to bring my drum set.
No, all right. Here's how that fucking went. All right,
Whatever.
I called Brett. I said, I called Alex because Alex's band owns this fucking place. I called Alex. Alex didn't pick up. I called Brett. Brett called fucking Alex, and Alex said, "Don't bring it." Yeah. And then Brett called me and said, "Don't bring it." Well, so I told you, "Don't fucking bring it."
All right, so yeah, but considering that like my cymbal fell down and like the bass drum was moving far.
That's
away.
what that was.
I saw that thing going. I saw her trying to push it back up for you.
Because I follow Matt most of the time, so you know what? It's like it's pretty good for a first show.
I was happy as fuck that the PA wasn't working to its full capabilities because I got stage fright and I usually don't, but for some reason the fact that like what I forgot most of the words to the songs, and these are songs that we've been playing for 6 months before we even recorded the album. The demo. It's not an album. It's far from an album.
It's close enough to like 80s albums. It's 5 songs and like a half hour long. You know.
Yeah. And that was the only like I was just glad that people couldn't hear me not know the words. That's
So listening to it, it sounded 10 times better with that. It sounded fucking grunged and dead. Yeah. It just made it sound awesome.
I'm glad people like that. I heard good things. Most people had. I think they were just being nice, but like hopefully we'll be able to. I enjoyed the venue. Mm-hmm. Just being at the venue, I thought it was a really cool idea. It's a free show, just a way to get our name out there, and like I would love to play again here. I don't know if they'd let my friends back after pouring beer all over me and making a mess. But hopefully,
which I got a picture of.
Clean the floor afterwards.
Oh yeah, we cleaned the floor afterwards. So it's, hopefully, yeah. But yeah, I thought it went pretty well, despite a few errors. And we're out of practice. We haven't practiced for like 2 weeks due to
a long story
quarrels in the band as a result. Which was bullshit. It was complete bullshit.
I had to try and do vocals and play my ridiculous bass lines at the same time when we got together. I was capable, but it wore me out.
So I see you work at Stop and Shop.
Yeah.
How is it fucking working there?
No.
It sucks!
Really, I don't know what to say because he works there too, and he might have a different perspective than I do. I mean, I like work, but when the managers all have to be like assholes.
Management sucks.
I myself work at Home Depot, so I understand.
It's kind of similar.
Yeah.
Well, I basically think that everybody who has a minimum wage job hates their job until they get out of college and get a nice job. So, you're gonna hate your job either way, honestly.
I think the only person who has a more brutal job than me is the person who slaughters cattle. I just blast Slayer and fucking fix chainsaws all day.
Nice.
I can tell you who has a better job than you, more brutal job than you. I sell puppies.
I thought you clean up the puppies.
No,
messes.
I switched over from selling puppies to cleaning the puppies' messes. And now they told me that I'm not good at cleaning up dog shit.
You know you're a waste of life if you can't even clean up dog shit.
Look, the only thing I know how to do okay
is to persuade somebody to buy a fucking animal that's just gonna gnaw off your fingers.
No, I wasn't even gonna say that because I suck at that too. I just buy the fucking dog, and that's it.
All right, this kid fucking worked with me at Spence's. All right, I used to work at Spence's. He was working with me for like a good 6 months, and then he got fired because there was a sale on these Playboy pocketbooks, and he tells the customers that they could fit a baby into the
No,
fucking
that's-
pocketbook and smash it repeatedly, and the pocketbook would be fine.
No. What I said was, what you can do
It was put
is
bricks in
put
it.
bricks in it, and it'll keep your baby quiet. Which I think is a lot more subtle, and I think like saying it that way
And you know what the funny thing is, you still sold more
than anybody else.
than I did, and like I had.
Because it worked. I'm not gonna lie. People were like, "Oh, seriously? Oh shit! I can do that, and it'll keep my baby quiet." And they bought. I'll take 10. So yeah, that was my favorite job. I've worked at
Yeah,
like
my favorite job is IHOP. Go in high, eat high, go home high. There is not a better job than just sitting there, taking the
pancake
register, just not even fucking up with the money, but just saying shit to people. Hi, how are you? You look, okay, hi. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it. Like, sometimes I would call people ugly. I would call people, like, I don't know. One time, this guy, I was going through heavy nicotine withdrawal. Like, I haven't had a cigarette in hours. I was smoking a pack and a half a day.
I hadn't had
I-
a cigarette in about 15 minutes. I was fiending.
No, it was a half hour, right?
I was like a fucking
Okay,
heroin
so
addict
I'm
to
like,
a fucking
I'm
piece of
going,
cheese.
you know, I'm walking around, I'm fucking going nuts, and this lady's like, I don't have any silver. I'm like, I need a fucking cigarette, and she was like, my manager just told me to go in the back, and it was all right. I got high, and that was about it.
And that's his story.
That's my story. But
Okay.
I mean, other than that, that's gotta be the best job. Ask more questions.
What made you guys want to do music?
Oh,
Oh,
Oh.
that's a good story.
That's the toughest question.
Well,
That-
this motherfucker,
what?
you lucky fuck,
What?
your fucking grandfather,
Yeah, he's an R&B singer, I guess.
His grandfather's fucking Johnny Maestro.
Yeah.
And what, your uncle was fucking
My
told by...
uncle's jam with John Petrucci from Dream Theater, so that's where I get most of my influence.
I do have if you, anybody who was born in the 80s and watched The Breakfast Club knows Simple Minds. My second cousin is actually the lead singer of Simple Minds.
Breakfast Club is a great movie.
Do any of you guys have alter egos when you play? Like, you have one entity that you show to everybody else, but when you play, you let loose. How would you describe your entity when you let loose?
For me,
And the death metal helps too.
yeah. For me, I have multiple personality disorder when it comes to that particular question. I never would have thought of that question. When I was younger, I was writing a story about. I have like the hero, the villain, and the unknown. And when I was writing these stories, the hero was Frogman, which I've changed that name because it's just stupid. Alucard. When you hear the bright and kind of happier songs, like Pessimistic View of Optimism, I feel is a little bit happier, and it has like an uplifting tone to it. That is Alucard. That's how I would put it. And then the unknown, which is like the tide, and like having like the tide, and possibly trapped. Graham Unknown, because my middle name is Graham, and for Castrate the Whore and Virgin Slaughter, which are two songs that like
I came up with the names
yeah,
of those motherfuckers.
Dave came up with the names, and
Me,
I want you to
he's
ask.
writing.
I want you to ask us about those two songs after this question. Those two songs would be Johnny Horror Show, because that's I was writing a story where there was a serial killer and his name was Johnny Horror Show. It turned out multiple personality disorder, yada yada. Yada. But that's kind of my take on that. That's what I would say. If I had to name the personalities, that's what I would name them.
It's either I'm stoned or I'm not stoned, and I go out and I do my thing. You know?
It's like to unleash the evil, like all this evil that I would like to
Dude,
put
you
into the
warm
world. I
up
put
with fucking Final Command by fucking Slayer.
through.
Enough said.
What I find is bullshit about your statement is Dave is probably one of the most soft-spoken people until you put a guitar over his shoulders, and then he becomes this showman. And when I first met Dave, I was like, he's gonna be quiet. Like he's gonna be like relatively quiet, and then we started playing together, and I saw Dave like whipping himself around and like really like getting into what he was doing, and it was like Nick, which is a perfect compliment to Nick's style, where Nick is very focused on what he's doing because when we first started this band, Nick barely knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
6 months ago.
honestly.
This kid didn't know. He didn't know how to
Not even
change a
shit.
string on a guitar.
Yeah.
This kid, he came into the studio, and we were all, when we recorded the demo, we were all expecting like the worst. This kid showed all of us up. Like every single one of us was like, "Holy shit! Nick knows what the fuck he's doing."
Yeah, it was like, oh my
It
god.
was really
Like, when did Nick get fucking awesome?
Exactly. I was like when he fucking played like Castrate the Whore, I was just like, oh shit, that's awesome.
When I play bass, I try to impress people with bass lines. Like, I try to play things a lot different than what the guitarists play, and try to go along with the drums and the guitars at the same time. Because, you know, like a lot of bands out there, the bass players play exactly the same thing, and it's just, what's the point to have a bass?
Yeah.
So I like go in there and try to play like the best bass lines I can come up with and impress people and say, wow, he's like he's a really good bass player. You know?
yeah.
That's my view on that.
Yeah.
Castrate
Oh.
the Whore and Virgin Slaughter.
Yeah, that's a touchy subject because Dave loves those songs, and I'm completely on the other side of the fence on that
I
one.
love Virgin Slaughter.
May I interrupt? Everybody is fucking running.
What the fuck happened?
Huh.
People are having a fight over there, it looks like.
Can we put this on hold and watch?